Welcome to Maxim Foods Inside Track. Only a couple of weeks away from the start of summer here in Brisbane. The sun is shining, good times ahead. Let's have a look and see what's happening in dairy. As an overall summary on the global market, a real abundance of supply and demand waning is putting pressure on all commodity prices. We saw on the GDT last night on whole milk powder down just under 2% at 1.9%. It was a reasonably even demand across the board. China was at about 55% participation on whole milk. And the other regions down 1 to 2%. So demand was spread across the board, however, was weaker than previous GDTs. This is the 7th consecutive GDT where we've seen an overall minus result. And with whole milk, it may have performed a little bit better than futures expectations. However, that burden of supply is really putting pressure on pricing. Having a look at skim milk powder and non-fat, not a lot of news there. Things have been reasonably balanced in supply and demand since September. Not a lot of movement on GDT. US market reasonably flat on non-fat, and the EU as well. In terms of a short to medium term, it seems to be holding up reasonably well against other commodities. Moving across to butterfat, so we did see significant movement on the GDT downwards last night. This is a result of increased volume put on the GDT, so good volume from Fonterra there on the platform last night, around about 25% up from the event previous to last year. So it shows that butter is in good supply and a lot of pressure on pricing when you take into consideration that increased fat supply out of the US and increased exports out of the US. It has put a lot of pressure on the global market. EU in similar fashion, we have seen more product on the market, more supply, putting pressure across the globe on pricing. We have seen signs of flaws in the market on the US side of things. We have seen that market tick up a little bit, so that is positive signs of some strengthening in the market there, and similar to the EU. So yeah, in terms of a short to medium term focus, with that support on pricing in US and EU, we may see the New Zealand Australian pricing pop up as well. Moving across to cheese, in the EU we have seen some positive signs. That market has been reasonably bearish in the last 2 to 3 months. We have seen some good pricing out of the EU, so we have perhaps that market has seen a floor. In the US, the CME still seems reasonably bearish. Some good milk and positive milk results in the US, obviously attributing to increase in supply and increase in exports. In New Zealand, Australia, quite a flat market. Obviously we are heading into some good demand conditions across retail and food service for Australia and New Zealand. So we are seeing a more balanced market here in Australia. Looking at whey and proteins, on the sweet whey side, not a lot of action there. We're still seeing a reasonably balanced market and flat pricing. Looking at proteins, is similar story. It is definitely the champion of the dairy products at the moment. That insatiable demand across the globe continues. We're seeing bigger quick service restaurants or quick service chains like Starbucks, etc., introducing new protein infused products into their repertoire. So yeah, across the board we're seeing good domestic demand in the US and globally, which is swallowing up a lot of product and keeping those pricing firm. Thanks very much for listening to today's Inside Track. Remember, on Friday is the first day of the Ashes Test, Australia versus England over in Perth. There'll be 5 days there, hopefully, in a 5-test series. So, yeah, cannot wait. I'm sure everyone else is excited too. We'll see you again in a fortnight.